So, it all comes down to this. After 9 races this season, today we shall find out who will be this season's world champion. Here in the outskirts of Barcelona as we take on the Spanish Grand Prix at the Pedralbes circuit. The stakes couldn't be any higher and there is everything to play for at both ends of the table, but the nerves are truly at the top where 6 drivers enter this race with a chance of becoming world champion. Jack Palmer and Emerson Fittipaldi are tied at the top with 25 points, with Nico Rosberg close behind with 23. Vettel and Raikkonen occupy 4th and 5th spot, and all eyes are on this man Jim Clark, who can leapfrog everyone and secure the championship with the win at fastest lap today if other results go in his favour. But he has the advantage as he starts in pole position here in Spain. Michael Schumacher continues his good run of form and starts second, with Jackie Stewart starting in third. Nigel Mansell starts in 6th in what could be his last race for the foreseeable future if he fails to score points. Emerson Fittipaldi starts in 8th but only has to score a couple of points to snatch the title. Nico Rosberg also only has to score a handful of points to become champion, but he starts in 10th. Kimi Raikkonen also has to win this race if he stands any chance of winning, and he starts in 11th, with Max Verstappen in 12th, who also will be leaving the historic F1 series if he can't score points today. Sebastian Vettel starts in 14th and also has a lot of work to do if he stands a chance. But championship leader Jack Palmer starts in 19th and will have to fight almost every single driver to win his second world championship. And finally, Fernando Alonso starts in 20th and has the impossible task of scoring points to be on the grid next season ahead of him. It's been a long season, but I'm glad to have brought each and every one of you along for the ride, but it's not over yet. We have one final race to complete, and anything can happen in the next half hour. 9 laps to complete of this long-lost Pedralbes circuit await the drivers, so let's head down to the grid for the 1954 Spanish Grand Prix. Okay then guys, here we are on the grid in Pedralbes. This is as tense as it's got. I'm so nervous. And yeah, in preparation for this race I was sat there listening to a few songs just to get me in the mood, including Lost But One. No, is it called Lost? Yeah, Lost But One by Hans Zimmer from the Rush soundtrack, just to get me in the mood, in the right mood. Obviously the sort of mood's kind of been killed off a little bit because I'm having to talk now, but this, I'm so tense. 6 drivers can win the championship today. 6, and there's no race 10. This is it. This is the last race of the season, and so we got Jim Clark who starts pole, Fittipaldi starts 8th, Nico Rosberg starts 10th, Raikkonen starts 11th, Vettel starts 14th, and myself starting 19th. All can win the championship today. So because of how different this can go, there's so many different ways. There will be a live leaderboard on my left hand side, so that I can see exactly what's happening with all the other drivers. And the other thing as well to mention, obviously this track isn't as detailed as what we've had already this season, or just on my channel anyway. And notice when I tested to make sure this could actually race well, this circuit, it does, but on the start all the drivers just get away horribly, like they basically stop. So I'm gonna have to do the same. I'm gonna have to get off like slowly as well, just so that it's fair. So yeah, right at the back, and also slightly off topic from this race, but actually the other day I had a look and see what parts of this circuit exist still. And it was really hard to trace at first, but eventually I got there, and on Google Street View there is nothing. The entire area has now been taken over by the city of Barcelona, and it's just completely different. Like here is this main road, motorway, and then right at turn 1 there's like bridges and turn-offs and everything, and the rest of the circuit is all just streets. But it's still traceable, it's still possible to do a lap, but nothing like this. And also I managed to kind of do a temporary fix on my wheel. Basically what's happened is that the bolt that secures the clamp is threaded. So I've basically just wedged some cardboard at the top of the bolt so it acts as like a washer, and it's done the trick and it's secure now. So it won't be fighting with the wheel at the same time. Relax, relax, relax. 9 laps, it's about 23, 24 minutes of this now. Done quite a bit of practice here, so I should be fine. I kind of know my braking points. There's no signs telling you where to brake, so you have to kind of use the geography around you to get where your ideal braking point. And the other thing is as well, I'm feeling a lot better. I was ill at the start of the week, which prevented me from doing a midweek upload, which I'm really annoyed about because I had a really good idea. I'm still going to do that idea next week, but yeah, I was quite annoyed. But these things happen, and here we are. Pedralbes. This is actually the first race I've done, apart from the test race which I did like yesterday, just to make sure it all actually worked, all the cars could actually go around without any incident, and it does. So we have this ahead of us. I'm so nervous. I am really nervous. I've never felt nerves like this. This feels real. Right, shall we get on with this? The last race of the 1954 season. I know what season we're doing next, and I know when we're going to start that, but all will be revealed in due course. But keep your eye on that leaderboard. See who's going to win it. See who's going to leave the grid. Anything can happen. So let's get on with this. Let's go. Okay, here we are. There's that leaderboard I was talking about. Almost ready to go here, Pedralbes. 6 lights there. And see what I mean? So I'm going to just take advantage of this. Alright. And we're away. Spanish Grand Prix. Already up to 14th now. We're just overtaking Mika Häkkinen. Schumacher has taken the lead. Jim Clark is in second now. He won't be winning the championship if he stays like that, but we've run all the way up to turn 1. This is a long straight, one of the longest in F1 history. It's about 1.5 miles long. Mika Häkkinen decides to get friendly. Oh no, that's Sebastian Vettel, also eager to get up front to try and win this year's championship. Right now, some of the drivers might try and get some air here. Look at that. There's a nice hump there. But I am eager to win this championship now. I want it. Might not deserve it, but I'm up there for a reason. Now Clark is back in the lead now. But he has to win and get fastest lap to win the title. Also notice, look how wide this track is. So there's no excuses for any drivers hitting each other. Right, this is an awkward corner. Always get it wrong. Little bit of an error, but we're up to 13th, so we've had a really good start so far. Sebastian Vettel is in front in 12th. Go down second. You think like this corner here is a fast corner, but it actually isn't. So a lot of times I've gone into it thinking I can go in there fast, but I can't. Come on then, Vettel. Come on, you got all that road. You can get away from me, can't you? Don't want any accidents this time. I've had far too many this season. To the old switcheroo. What was I saying? Oopsie. Sorry. Get out of my way. And because of that, I'm starting the straight slow, which is not what I want. Because my balance, I'm slightly slower than the rest. Now Clark, as it stands, because he has that fastest lap, Clark will be world champion. Because Fittipaldi is still in 8th. Rosberg's now in 7th, so he's actually moving up the field a little bit. But as it stands, Jim Clark is world champion. Let's see if we can put an end to that. And that is Mika Häkkinen going past me. My childhood hero. I've got 2 more cars coming up behind me.
Bart did it.
Try and block him a little bit. But obviously straight I'm at a disadvantage, so I have to take my chances with the rest. And Raikkonen's dropped down. He's now last. There might have been a crash, and if so, that means Raikkonen is out of contention. The Schumacher's retaken the lead. Look at this group of cars. We need to get past these guys, I think. A good launch out of there, but we're going to have to brake about now. A little bit of contact or lock up or something there. But I think Raikkonen is out of contention. And we're now up to 11th. Jim Clark has retaken the lead. There seems to be a bit of a battle between Jim Clark and Michael Schumacher. Oh, getting close. And we take 10th place. So far so good. This is Max Verstappen in front of me. Nigel Mansell in front of him. Both fighting for their survival. And at the moment, it's not enough. I mentioned at the start, Fernando Alonso has a near impossible task ahead of him, and he's still 19th. So it looks like he'll be heading out. Not the World Cup of the Sorg F1 series. Go a little bit wider than what I wanted. But so far up to 10th, so far so good. But Jim Clark still in the lead, but Michael Schumacher has now got the fastest lap. But more interestingly, Rosberg is now 6th, which means if he gets one more position, he would be in a position to win the championship, because he would have 3 wins as opposed to my 2. We'd be tied on 25 points.
Clark did it.
So many things happening. Anyway, my driving is alright. And what a nice clean race. As we head turn 1 for the 3rd time, lap 3 now. Gets a bit of air there, Max Verstappen. Now, Jim Clark is back in the lead. I think he was still in the lead anyway. He's now a 2.5 seconds in front of Schumacher. So we try and catch up to Max Verstappen again. So we'll try and keep it at 3rd for this corner actually. Yep, that worked. Good exit actually. Might have to deploy that tactic from now on. Let's try and now Max Verstappen's getting friendly. Nothing unusual there. Now it's a drag race all the way down to the corner. Took 2 positions away there. If I can hold it, of course. You get off! Get off! What are you doing? Get off! What have you done? Come on! And just like that, Nigel Mansell has probably ended my championship chances already. Crying out loud. That's annoyed me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, we're able to make up that many positions, I'm sure I could do it again. We were actually getting close to the points just before that incident. But we're just gonna have to keep going. Lap 4 now. Jim Clark's still in the lead, and Jackie Stewart now has the fastest lap and is catching up on Clark. Rosberg still in 6th, Fittipaldi in 7th, and Sebastian Vettel in the 18th, so it looks like he's out of contention, just like I am really. So all eyes now, there's a lot of skid marks back there. As they are here as well. So there must have been a bit of contact between drivers. Whoa! It's Mick Hackman getting his nickname, the Flying Finn. If you saw that. Obviously the thing's recording differently. It's recording my left eye, I think. You might not have seen that. Let's catch up. Which I'm confident we can do. Shall I just knock Mansell out and just pay back? So Fittipaldi now up to 6th. Rosberg, news, Rosberg is in 5th. So as it stands now, Nico Rosberg will be world champion. Because he'll be tied on points with myself and Fittipaldi, but he would have 3 wins as opposed to the 2 that I have and the 1 that Fittipaldi has. So he will be champion, but again, things can change. So we're slowly catching up to, which is now Jenson Button and Nigel Mansell. It's actually Lewis Hamilton that's behind me, about 8 seconds. Alonso is making his way up the field, or he was. And Jim Clark didn't get that fastest lap that time. Which means it's still Nico Rosberg who's the one who now will be champion. We still have 4 laps left. Let's get some air. See, that's the thing. If I can get into 5th, I would spoil that party completely. It's unlikely, but it's not impossible. And there's Button locking up. Let's take advantage of that. And we do very nicely. Ooh. So I'm just launching my car in all directions. Where's Button gone? That is a 1.5 seconds away from me. And now it's you again, Nigel Mansell. Thinking payback. I'd be interested to see the replay and see what actually happened. You can see my skid marks just all along the road there. Let's break back now. As we're close to completing lap 5. Starting lap 6. Get a bit squirrely coming out of there, but that's all fine. That's how I want my corner to go. Now, the issue is, if Father Mansell, there's 12 seconds between him and Graham Hill. You can just about see tiny dots in the distance of the other drivers. So we have a bit to do, and I've just realised I've got fastest lap now, so that will give me a point, which will put me on 26 points and above Nico Rosberg as it stands. So as it stands, I'm now world champion. So we've had 3 different champions this race, because in 1954 you did get an extra point for fastest lap, as you do now. And Clark still in the lead. But as it stands, I will be world champion. Don't know how I managed to put in the fastest lap there. It wasn't even a good lap. Didn't feel like it anyway. Right, this is Mansell. Please, no Puncherino this time. Oh. I literally say that and I'll do it myself. Crying out loud. Right, he's over there, which I'm worried about. Staying in the shade. Excellent. That means that's a good tactic. You'd be cooling your engine slightly. Right, go away. Please, go away. Good. You stay over there. And I'll just be up here. See, if Nico Rosberg can take Alberto Ascari, then he will be world champion. So many things can happen. It's so crazy. So it's lap 7. And I've gone completely wide there. Still got fastest lap. Nico Rosberg still 5th. Jim Clark still leading, but he won't be champion. You'll have to get the fastest lap for that. And Nico Rosberg now in 4th. So as it stands now, Nico Rosberg, okay, maybe not, but Nico Rosberg would be champion if he can get 4th. How many points for 4th? I've forgotten now. So it's 8, 6, 5, 4? Yeah, I think it's 4. So 4 points. I'll have to double check that, of course. See, I can say whatever I like from here, but once I come out the race and check the maths, then that will tell us exactly what's happening. But Nigel Mansell now gets back into 9th. He wants to have a fight, he'll get a fight. This is his last race after all, because where he is means he will not be on the grid for next season. And I love the exit. Don't go in front of me, you idiot. I hear him behind me, but I can't see him. Still can't see him. Nope. Brakes. Okay. There's Mansell now in front of me. A little bit further than what I would like. We're about to finish lap 7 and get into the penultimate lap of this race. And still as it stands, oh god, bumps in the road really messed me up there. Okay. So Emerson Fittipaldi now has the fastest lap, which means as it stands, Emerson Fittipaldi will be champion as it stands. Emerson Fittipaldi not only has got 5th and takes that position away from Rosberg, but he's also got fastest lap. So as it stands, Emerson Fittipaldi will be champion. What is going on? That'll put him on 28 points. We've gained 3 from that, 2 from 5th place and 1 point for fastest lap. God. But even if now Jim Clark gets the fastest lap, it wouldn't matter because Emerson Fittipaldi is where he is. He's currently 2nd in the championship. I think he's only had 1 win this season. We're still 10th. Slap bang in the middle. And just to make matters worse, Fittipaldi's just gone up to 4th. He's just overtaken Alberto Ascari. Which makes my chances and Jim Clark's chances even more slim. And of course Nico Rosberg. So now, for me at least, it's just a battle between me and Nigel Mansell. But interestingly, Max Verstappen is now in 7th. So he's 2 places away from points. So he could still survive if he could really push. But Fittipaldi now down to 5th as we approach the end of the penultimate lap and go on to the final lap. The final lap of this season. Season 2 of the historic F1 series, and what a blast it's been. And it's all going to come to a head now. So, entering the final lap, we have Jim Clark in the lead. And won't be champion as it stands. He hasn't got the fastest lap. He has one more chance to do that. But Emerson Fittipaldi is in 4th. And's got the fastest lap, and at the moment will be world champion if it finishes this way. Jim Clark just lost the lead to Jackie Stewart. Jackie Stewart hasn't won a race this season or if ever in the historic F1 series, so this is completely new to him. As I say that, Clark and Stewart are running side by side. They're somewhere over there, and elsewhere Vettel in 14th, and Raikkonen now down in 18th. And myself still in 10th. So I can't win it, Vettel can't win it, neither can Raikkonen. It's up to 4. It's up to 3 drivers now. Jim Clark, or Emerson Fittipaldi, or Nico Rosberg. Nico Rosberg now 3.5 seconds behind Max Verstappen, has moved up to 6th. So he could still do it. 2.5 seconds to go until he reaches Ascari. And now Fittipaldi's gone down to 5th. This is going to be close, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing really for me to do now, except just finish this race. That's going here in front of Nigel Mansell now. Jim Clark in 2nd, Fittipaldi back up to 4th. But if I look back, a lot of errors, including this one, has meant that I will not be winning the championship. I think the race is about to end anyway. We'll talk about that in a minute. They're about to cross the line, I can feel it. Starting line is just over there. There's a little lock up there from Mansell, and they've crossed the line. Stewart's won it, I think, but Fittipaldi, I think, has surely crossed the line now, and Emerson Fittipaldi is now the historic F1 series season 2 world champion. Well done, Emerson. You got close last season, but now you're world champion. Emerson Fittipaldi, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give him a round of applause. Emerson Fittipaldi, Formula 1 world champion. And that is how it is. I mean, I'm not too sure who won that. That changed, like, really quickly. They're so close to each other, but it could be Jackie Stewart. We'll find out in a second. But Emerson Fittipaldi finishing in 4th. He wins the championship. He's up here, actually. Here he is. This is him. And here we are. Emerson Fittipaldi, world champion. Well done. Let's give him a bit of a love tap. Right. So that's the last race of the 1954 season, and I hope you've enjoyed. But before we go, let's have a look at the results and find out who officially is the champion. Do all the maths, do a little bit of a review of the race, and yes, look at the replays as well. Let's go and have a look. Well guys, what an absolutely dramatic way to end this season. That couldn't have gone any better if I had tried. It wasn't a case of the drivers going off and winning the championship, no. I think the championship changed. The championship winner changed 4 times, I think it was. I think it was Jim Clark, and then it was me, and then it was Nico Rosberg for a while, and then just Emerson Fittipaldi, and each lap it was just changing. But a confirmation of the results, the race results that start out with Jackie Stewart actually got the win, his first win in the historic F1 series, and absolutely fantastic. And he actually moves up the table quite a significant amount compared to last season, and gets his first win. But Jim Clark also in second, fantastic race for him. He led for most of it, and unfortunately didn't quite get there. Michael Schumacher also got his podium, finishes third, just half a second off of Clark actually, very close to knocking him further down. Wouldn't have made any difference though, because Jim Clark had to win and get a fastest lap if he had any chance of winning the championship, which he wouldn't have happened anyway, because Fittipaldi ended up in 4th place, which got him the championship place, and obviously the fastest lap as well. And Alberto Ascari finished in 5th. Max Verstappen, who had to score points to survive into next season, but unfortunately 6th place is all he could do, and unfortunately we'll be having to say goodbye to Max Verstappen, as well as Nigel Mansell as well, who could only finish 9th. But let's have a look at Nico Rosberg. He finished 7th, and unfortunately that doesn't score you points, and he finishes the season with 23, and at one point he was champion but couldn't quite keep up the drive, shall I say, and unfortunately he drops out of contention and obviously is not the world champion. We'll have a look at the tables in a few moments. Obviously myself finishing in 10th, Fangio finishing in 11th, Alonso as well, he had to score points to survive. He didn't, he finished in 13th. Sebastian Vettel actually had a really poor result, finished 14th. For a potential world champion, that's pretty poor, but from the midway point of the season, his form did kind of die away, and sadly he won't be winning the championship. As we all know, obviously, and the same with Kimi Räikkönen as well. He finished in 18th and won't be winning the championship. And right at the back, Lewis Hamilton in 20th, and in front of him, Mika Häkkinen, who actually got very close to relegation himself. So obviously Max Verstappen, Nigel Mansell, and Fernando Alonso leaving the historic F1 series, and won't be replaced by 3 different drivers for next season, which will be announced in about a week or two's time. It'll probably be a community post. Let's have a look at that all-important championship table then. And as you can see there, right at the top, Emerson Fittipaldi with 29 points, world champion for the first time, and I won't be surprised if we get a couple more from him as well in the future. And there's myself in second with 25 points. So not great, but a decent effort, and like I said during the race, a lot of simple mistakes this season led to this occurring. Haven't scored points in Silverstone, and the retirement at the Nürburgring and Monza really cost me, and yeah, it's a shame. Big shame. And obviously Spa as well. It seemed like such a long time ago. I mean, it was last month, so 9 weeks ago this season started. Long time. And in 3rd place, Nico Rosberg, 23, his best season yet, as much of these drivers are having their best season yet. Jim Clark also had the chance of winning the championship, but could only finish in 4th place with 22 points, so really good. And it actually overtook Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Räikkönen, who finished in 5th and 6th. Jackie Stewart surges up the championship table and finishes in 7th. Michael Schumacher also had a brilliant end to his season and finished 8th, and Alberto Ascari finished 3rd last season. He finished in 9th, so pretty poor from him, but I'm sure he'll be back even stronger next year. Or next season, shall I say. Lewis Hamilton finished slap bang in the middle with 10th with 10 points actually. Interestingly, Niki Lauda, who started out this season pretty strong, the first couple of races he did pretty well, could have actually won at Argentina. I think he finished 2nd at Argentina, and it just dropped off after that and finished 11th with 9 points. Ed Senna as well at a time was quite at risk of being relegated, but he finishes 12th with 6 points, quite healthy there. And Graham Hill, lucky to escape and scored points last week for the first time, and that's enough for him. And he finishes in 14th. And right at the bottom there, Max Verstappen with 0, Nigel Mansell and Fernando Alonso. Mika Hakkinen got very close. If he retired one more time, Mika Hakkinen, he would have been down there as well. Fernando Alonso probably would have been out of there. So yeah, guys, that is the final championship table. That is the last race. I'll post, maybe in a few days' time, I'll post the final championship table on the community post, so you could have a look at proper look. That's not scrolling or whatever. And yeah, guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this season. This has been an incredible season. We're probably not going to see anything like this again. A situation where 6 drivers can win the championship heading into the final race. We'll probably have one where it's like 2 drivers can win it, or 3 drivers, but nothing like that. That was just crazy. That was crazy. And to try and drive and look at the leaderboard and commentate and report on what's happening to you, that was really difficult. But I have noticed the viewer numbers this season compared to last season is a lot bigger. So I really thank you for all your support on this series. It's the main reason why I'm on YouTube is this series, and I'm really happy to see all the positive feedback I get, and just, yeah, it's so fantastic. So thank you so much, and obviously next season is going to be even bigger, even faster. I know what car we're driving, I know what season we're doing, and I don't know what drivers are going to be in it so far. I'll probably do it in the next few days and then announce it in a few days after that, what drivers will be replacing Alonso, Mansell and Verstappen. That will be announced to you in the community post, and I do know when the season will be beginning. It'll be beginning in mid to late January. Obviously get Christmas out of the way, busy period, and my birthday and that kind of thing. So once I get that out of the way, then I probably have a bit more time to myself work out to do the series. I want to make sure I'm doing a series or the seasons when I'm not actually busy myself. I mean, terrible tale, I might be really busy and then I'll have to change the date. I don't know, but look out for a trailer in the future for next season, and there will be a highlights video for this season that might be up next week or the week after, so it won't be long. It'll be quite a similar format to last season's highlights, but I'll try to add a bit more spice to it as well. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this season, and if you haven't done so already, if this is your first time here, go check out some of the other ones on. I have a special playlist for just the historic F1 series, so do check them out. Some of them are brilliant, some of them are pretty awful, but yeah, do check them out. And if you're new, do hit that subscribe button. It really makes me happy. So thank you so much, and I appreciate all your support. And until the next video, which will be midweek, should be midweek next week, I'll have a pretty fun and educational video for you guys, so look out for that one around Wednesday or Thursday. And yeah, until then, have a great week. I know Christmas is approaching, it's a stressful time, but just try and chill out there, you know, just chill out. The whole world needs a bit of a chill right now, so stay safe out there, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.